Now with the edges rounded and all the smoothing complete, the tabletop is done. But the deadline looms large.
Wait, I didn't tell you about the deadline?
Well, without going into all the gory details as to whether this is a serial issue or not of mine, my wife's family, almost each member of my wife's family, is coming from far away to spend Christmas with us. We don't have a table big enough for all the folks that are coming to share Christmas dinner and meals surrounding. So you could do what a sane person does and go borrow a table from someone or rent one, or you could go my route and, make one. The biggest thing driving my deadline right now is that it's the 20th of December. And after all this is put together, it's going to need stained and it's going to need sealed. That sealer is going to have some time to do some off-gassing so that it doesn't overpower Christmas dinner. So, let's get to cracking.
I'll go ahead and cut the tops to the pedestals, which might not immediately make sense, but that is the part that actually connects the legs to the tabletop. The tabletop is upside down here. And once I get that done, I will measure and mark the place where all three of the posts are going to be. Once I've got all three of those marked, then I can mark the halfway point between the outer posts and the center post on either side. I'll go ahead and clamp down the whole shebang on either side. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go to measuring. I'm going to measure everything that I can conceivably think to measure with regard to the top of this pedestal and the bottom of the tabletop, because this is about to get permanent. What I mean by that is I'm going to take my adjustable auger bit, adjusted to about 1 1/16", and marked for depth. I'm going to line it up on that halfway mark that I made, and I'm going to drill a hole all the way through that top of the pedestal and into, just barely into, the bottom of the tabletop. This adjustable auger bit takes considerably more effort than does a regular auger bit.
Now when I pull this board off, I'll have two little marks, one there and one there. Perfect little marks so that I can drill holes here and they'll match exactly these holes there.
Well, I didn't get quite as far as I wanted to on this tonight. I had to go into work for a little while for some silly business, but nonetheless, I feel like I need to get the staining and sealing process going. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward with it with my brand new favorite wood stain, the old rusty nails and vinegar, and get this going and see how it turns out. Here goes nothing. And that's the result. After sitting overnight, that's how dark it got. Some places it's a little bit darker than I'd anticipated, but that's one of the cool things about working with wood, is it's a little bit unpredictable. I guess if you've done it for a lot of years, you learn how to predict it, but as far as I'm concerned, one piece will stain a little differently than the next piece, and it's a bit of a surprise. So now it's time to get some sealer on here.
After much debate, I've decided to go with just straight linseed oil, boiled linseed oil, as a sealer. It may not be total package the absolute best thing to do, but it has a lot of attributes that I like in that it's simple. I can reapply and reapply. And I have it. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll see how this turns out, see how dark it gets, and I need to go ahead and get this curing or drying or off-gassing, however you want to call it, so it doesn't stink quite so badly like boiled linseed oil by Christmas.
So here's our result. Deep, dark, rich, and smells like linseed oil like crazy. So I'm going to get a fan on this thing and start getting some air blown across it to get it dried as quickly as possible. And now I got to build some legs still and get them stained and oiled and installed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this by Christmas.